What if I told you that most founders are walking past a big pile of money every day? Seriously, imagine having a big pile of cash just sitting there and you're ignoring it while you chase after pennies. That's exactly what's happening with your sales process. Hey, I'm Colin, and today I'm going to talk to you about the hidden revenue source that's already sitting right in your pipeline, your nurture list. Welcome to the Predictable Revenue Podcast, where sales leaders teach you what's working for them so you can build it yourself. Here's what most founders get wrong about sales growth. They think it's all about generating new leads, but the data shows something completely different. Your biggest opportunity isn't finding new prospects, but properly nurturing the ones who already know you exist. Today, I'm going to show you why your not right now list isn't a pile of rejection. It's actually a future revenue goldmine. And I'll share a ridiculously simple system that can transform those dormant prospects into your most profitable customers. I look at sales as four distinct pipelines. You have your meat pipeline, which is how you find new people to talk to. You have your disco pipeline, which is short for discovery, but disco is just a much better word, which is your active opportunities. There's your manage pipeline, which is managing your current clients. And then there's your nurture pipeline. These are the people who you've met, but they're not ready to buy yet. Now, most companies invest all their resources in the first two while completely ignoring the fourth. And that's a massive mistake. Somehow we've all been taught to hear that not right now is a polite rejection, but that's not what prospects are actually saying. They're just telling you when they're going to be ready to buy, and the time is just not right now. These aren't cold leads. These are warm opportunities who already know who you are, have confirmed that they're the right person to talk to. They acknowledge that they have the problem you solve. The math just doesn't add up for them to solve it right now. Most follow-ups fail because they forget about this and they just check in. Here's an example of what not to do. And here's an example of how to do it right. Can you see the difference? One forces the prospect to do all the mental work, while the other makes it really easy for them to respond. You don't need fancy automation to work your nurture pipeline effectively. In fact, most successful systems only have four parts. First, you need to create a dedicated list for your prospects. This could be as simple as a Google Sheet, or it could be as fancy as its own dedicated pipeline in your CRM. My personal favorite is just to use a separate view in my Salesforce, where I clone the view and I hide all the opportunities that are in my active pipeline, and I only show the ones that have the status close less nurture. Two, you need to document exactly what they said when they said, not now. Basically, you need to ask what needs to happen between now and then in order for that to change. Three, you need a systematic way to follow up with these folks. This means putting something into your calendar that you're actually going to respect. I find Friday afternoons are my least productive sales time of the week. And so I always try and do a half an hour every Friday afternoon. It's a nice, easy way. I start the timer and I just let it rip. Four, always end with a very specific next step. You want to make these emails easy to reply to. The goal isn't to close a deal over email. The goal is to learn a little bit, to check in, to see if context has changed. It's a really great reminder for your prospect, and it's a really great way for you to touch base in a light, not trying to ask for a credit card kind of way. Let's talk about some real numbers. The average cold email gets about a 1% reply rate, meaning you got to send 1,000 emails just to get 10 replies. And out of those 10 replies, you're likely only to get one and maybe two meetings out of it. That means if you want to hit 10 meetings a month, you got to be sending a whole lot of email. Contrast this with the nurture pipeline. The average nurture email I send gets a 30 to 40% reply rate. And I don't actually need to book that meetings in order to reactivate some of these as customers. The best part about working your nurture is there's already so much shared context. And as long as you're saving this somewhere, you're able to draw on that to recreate that connection with your customer really quickly. When you look at it, it's 10 times easier to generate pipeline from your nurture than from your cold. But everybody's always focused on top of funnel, top of funnel, top of funnel. They end up ignoring all this gold. There's a reason that most sales teams neglect the nurture pipeline. One, it's not obvious. Two, it requires patience. And We're in a world where everybody seems to be obsessed with instant results. But remember, the companies that win big in the long run aren't just good at generating demand, they're exceptionally good at capturing value from every interaction, even those that don't immediately convert. So there you have it, the hidden gold mine most founders are completely missing. Remember, in sales, nothing's ever truly lost. It's usually just closed lost, not right now. And occasionally it's closed lost, leave me alone and perish, but that's only if you do an exceptionally poor job. That nurture category, it's pure gold waiting to be mined. If you implement just one thing from this video, I encourage you to take 30 minutes at your least productive time in the week, whatever it might be, and send a few nurtures. I think you'd be surprised with the results that you see. If you need a little extra help putting all the pieces together, I put a step-by-step template in the description, so have a look there. And if you want more sales strategies like this, check out my newsletter where I share ideas like this every week. And let me know in the comments, what's your biggest follow-up challenge? What kind of stuff do you want to see next? Talk to you soon.